This is the Brazoria County Minute. And now the host of the Brazoria County Minute, Christen English.
Hi, I'm Christen English with eXp Realty, and I am here in the Be Remembered Studios in Lake Jackson, Texas. And today, my guest is Terri Willis. She is the CEO of the Brazoria County Dream Center. And I am going to be asking her some questions today so that we can get some information out to you guys on what the Dream Center does. But first, my question is for you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wow. I've lived in this community all my life. Well, probably 7th grade. So that's all my life.
Good bit of it.
But part of it is I've been at the Dream Center since 2007.
Okay.
Is which when we started.
Oh, okay.
I came aboard about 6 months after they opened the doors. And so I have been there to see the many changes in our community and the services that we provide.
Okay.
And so I would have been one of those kids that needed the services that we provide at the Dream Center. So the foundation of the Dream Center programs are based on what I experienced as a child.
So it's very close to your heart then.
Very.
So that being said, what does the Dream Center offer our community, and then who do they serve for our community?
Well, we have several programs. We have about 3 daily programs that happen every single day, and that is our pantry.
Okay.
And it's a little different than most pantries. We just don't hand you a box of food. It's set up like a grocery store.
Okay.
And so individuals can come in and shop, and they have an electronic gift card, and they use it with points, and they purchase food from the shelf.
Oh, okay.
So that means they can select the items that they desperately need in the combination of what they already know what's in the cupboard, or if they have SNAP, then they can know what they can combine it with.
Oh, okay.
And so it gives them the freedom and the dignity other than other pantries do.
Yeah,
and
a feeling of a little bit of control over their situation that can sometimes feel out of control.
And so when they come shopping, especially our senior day shopping, is they love to shop. Let's just put it this way. It's their shopping day. And so they come in and they experience everything you would do in a normal grocery store, but in a smaller setting. They have fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables.
Oh, that's
they
awesome.
have can items. They have pastries. They have milk. They have bread. And then they have frozen meat and personal care items and cleaning supplies.
That's wonderful.
So it's a mini grocery store, and they get to go through and pick the items that they need for that week.
That's great. So when you say seniors, this is somebody that, maybe would be on a fixed income as they've, gone into their retirement phase of life.
So post-COVID.
Okay.
Because everything is post-COVID lately. Because
it's a whole new world in some ways.
Our whole culture and community needs have changed. So has our pantry changed. So seniors enjoyed having that special day all to themselves at 60 and older.
Okay.
They can shop at their leisure without any children in the building.
Yeah.
And they really enjoy it. We have bistro tables and sitting in our lobby, and they actually take it as their coffee time.
Okay.
And they enjoy visiting with one another. It's their day of their outing day.
Wow,
literally.
What a wonderful opportunity for them. That's great.
It gives them a place to come, talk to people. Eliminates the isolation that some of our seniors face. Mm-hmm. And the majority of them are single. Mm-hmm. And so they need that
human interaction.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
They really do. And that's just one of the programs that we have. The other program is our Disaster and Crisis Resource Program. And that program is after we do intake, they can, if there anything else they may need, because we know once we have broken the barrier of the food barrier, I don't need food, I'm going to get food today. What are your other needs? Because it's always something different. Our folks do trade-offs. Trade-offs are, do I buy food or do I buy medicines? Or do I pay the rent or do I buy food? What money they have. So we're there to meet those other resources. If we don't have them, then we have a community network system that we can refer people to.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So one of those things is in our building, we also have River of Hope that help with rent and utilities. And we also have Community Health Network there who help with the medical side, behavioral health. We even have a pharmacy there. And so our folks don't have to make that trade-off. They can use those funds to maybe pay the gas bill or buy the other items they need at the grocery store or put gas in their car.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that we look at when we build our programs is what are the trade-offs and how can we fill in that gap for our folks who are needing those items. The other things is like bedding. If someone has a house fire or relocation or domestic violence and have moved here with nothing else, they don't have anything else, they can come to us for clothing, bedding, dishes, silverware. And then we have those who are our homeless population, which is growing by the month, especially with our economy. So we have to start shifting our thinking and what is the needs there. So we have sleeping bags. What can they survive on the streets? What do they need? Tents. Right now it's neck fans.
Yeah, I was going to say it's pretty hot right now.
They all have phones, and so neck fans can charge with a regular charger.
Right.
And so we start accommodating and making space for those individuals. We also have, in our lobby, we have other community network people who come in who set up a booth.
Oh, really? Okay.
So if we can't provide those services for you, we know a community network who can. And so we bring them there. Just Monday, we had people there for help with phones.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And there's other times we have devoted there for Medicare individuals. Or we had the veteran services come in, and they sit at the table, and people can ask them questions right there in the lobby while they're waiting to get into the pantry.
That's wonderful.
So it's what we call wraparound services.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what the Dream Center is about. It's all these services wrapped around that meet the need of the community, the individual person, because everybody's needs are different. We just happen to listen to them very carefully.
Yes, I think that's so important. Yeah, and I love how you guys are filling in gaps, because I think that's one thing that kind of tends to happen whenever you're trying to meet someone's needs. We try to anticipate what they are and then just give them things. But a lot of times we forget to take a step back and maybe ask them what they actually need or listen to them to see what they need. Because we just want to help, so we just start making assumptions about what they need. And I just love how you guys are being very, intentional about filling in those gaps. I think that's wonderful.
We're in real time.
Yes.
Real time needs.
And adjusting to whatever is going on. And you're right. I mean, right now we've got, the heat wave, and then, also the economy, and being aware of that and just constantly shifting to make sure those needs are being met. That's really great. And I love what you guys are doing in the community. So what do you love most about serving there?
Well, the greatest... One of the our resource program, the lady, Miss Pawnee, she just recently passed away.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And she was that program. And so what we done is we set up a memory book. And my greatest joy out of all this is reading how we have met those needs.
Yeah.
We literally have, there's people writing down, when I was homeless, she never, talked down to me. She sat there and prayed with me. Yeah. She told me resources that I never knew were existing. And she treated me like a human being. And so if I have to say the joy of serving is all that. What Miss Bonnie has brought to the table and left us her legacy with is we serve well.
Yeah.
And we meet people in that hard place, but we also give them a hand of hope.
Yeah.
And I think after all these 15 years, it's long hours, long days, and they're busy. But that's the biggest part of it right there, is being able to serve our community and meet those needs.
Yeah, and being able to work alongside a team that has the same vision and the same heart. And, hearing beautiful testimonies of how lives have been changed make it worthwhile and will keep you guys all going.
It does every day. We have another program called Backpack Buddies, and it's been going since 2008. 2009. We started the program with 17 backpacks. It fills the hunger gap in over the weekend for kids who are going hungry, but they're not self-referred. That means a teacher, counselor, or school nurse has recognized that the child is facing malnutrition or hunger needs within the family. And so they get a backpack over the weekend, a buddy pack is what we call of food, and it's 6 meals. And we give those over the weekend. We serve 6 school districts, 31 schools.
Wow.
And so the volunteer base for that is enormous. And we fed over 700 kids last year every week. And so when I was at one of the restaurants lately, I had one of the kids say, "You're Miss Terri, aren't you?" I said, "I sure am." And he had an unusual name, and I recognized him right away. He goes, "Thank you for all that you did for my family over all these years." And he's a very nice young man who has gone back to school and is working. And so when you plant seed so many years ago, 15, I'm able to see that seed now grow and the impact that we had in lives of people.
Yeah.
And I think, you're always saying, when am I going to retire? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm seeing all these seeds blossom now. So
Yeah.
there's there's a lot more ahead of us.
And that's wonderful because it's kind of the idea of pay it forward.
Yes.
So you are getting to see how you are planting those seeds in people's lives, and it's going to grow, and they're going to want to do the same. They're going to want to pay it forward because someone did it for them, and it meant so much to them. And then they're going to go out and plant even more seeds, and it's just a legacy that builds. And I just love that.
I think that's what the Dream Center is all about.
Yeah.
At this point, everybody says, "Why is it a Dream Center?" I said, "Well, we're patterned after the LA Dream Center,
Okay.
and you're just restoring dreams
Yeah.
to those who have lost hope."
Yeah, and you mentioned hope earlier, and I thought, how without hope, it's you kind of like it makes your heart. The Bible says it makes your heart sick,
Yeah.
and so walking around with a broken heart because you don't have any hope, and sometimes the littlest thing can spark hope and just bring you back to life and inspire you just to keep going when you think you can't anymore.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Our folks come in broken. But if you can it's just the smallest things. It's nothing big. And we'll go into volunteering. That's what it's all about, is giving that one little bit of hope to somebody. And it makes a difference in their whole life. And they're counting.
So who in our community supports this dream, this hope-giving dream?
Well, the Dream Center was based on the Community Outreach Center. We started as a sub-auxiliary of Family Life Church.
Okay.
Because they saw Pastor Craig Taylor is our founder.
Okay.
And him and his wife, Sandy Taylor. And they had seen what was happening out in L.A.
Okay.
And Matthew Barnett. And they said, we need that here. And so they started working on that. And then they gave me a call. We've known each other for many years. And they said, would you be able to take this vision of ours and make it a community outreach center? And I said, yes, we can do that. And so that's what we started working on. And so we started in 2007. In 2011, we became our own 501c3.
Wow.
And we're totally supported by the community.
That's awesome.
So our whole foundation is based on corporate donors,
Okay.
small business donors, and individuals. And when the economy gets rough or a downturn in the economy, then our funding goes down. And that's when we write additional grants to make those
Okay. To fill in
the gaps. And so we have been fortunate enough, I think it's been since 2015 or 16, we teamed up with United Way.
Okay.
And so they are part of our supporters that help us fund these 3 programs that I just talked about today.
Okay. Wonderful.
And then we have sponsors who help support the other 2 programs that we have events on. And that's the Back to School Bash, which this past year we helped over 1,600 kids receive school supplies. much needed supplies and tennis shoes and hygiene kits. And that was due to our big sponsors in our community, our big donors who say, I will sponsor tennis shoes. I will sponsor Damon ISD. I will sponsor Danbury ISD. And we took supplies out to them so they wouldn't have to drive all the way into us.
Oh, that's great.
And so we have found that way we can't put 1,600 kids in our building.
No, it's easier to go to them, right?
So it was easier to go to them. And Dream Gifts, that's all about sponsorships and toy drives and getting 1,400 kids. Make sure every child has a blanket. Every child has a stuffed animal for comfort during the times, because Christmas can be rough for most families. And that's when you have your highest domestic violences. And so if kids have a stuffed animal they could hug onto or a blanket to keep warm, then some of the things don't matter on the outside. Because time Christmas comes, the parents have found a way to contact me, get them toys. But the best part is our parents get the toys.
Okay.
They wrap them up underneath the tree. It's from them.
Right.
We hardly ever get to see any of the kids unless the parents write us a nice thank you note telling us how their Christmas went or send us pictures. But that's what it's all about. And bicycles.
And I think that goes back to the dignity, helping people maintain their dignity, and during tough times and being in need.
Yep.
Yeah.
It definitely is. As a young child, I was paraded in front of the sponsors. And I said I would never do that if I ever got the opportunity to bless a child with Christmas. And that's why we don't do Thanksgiving, take it to the doorstep. We let them come in and pick their Thanksgiving items out because everybody has different cultures and how they celebrate. Right. So we make sure we have those items there on the shelf so that they can shop for their Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it's
love
not that it works.
Yeah.
And it's all about the dignity that we give back to our clientele.
So how would someone go about being a volunteer at the Dream Center?
Volunteering, you show up. Literally.
Anytime.
Just show up.
Just show up and you'll be given a job.
Make sure you don't wear good clothes or and a good pair of tennis shoes.
So good shoes.
And old clothes.
Some work clothes. And a willing heart, huh?
That's all it takes. Really, honestly. We have several groups that can sign up through our website.
Okay.
And they can sign up because we could take groups up to 15, and we have special projects that our groups can do.
Okay.
And we have numerous people who do that. The individuals, they'll help sack the groceries. They'll help do checkout. It's just like a grocery store. And so you need a checkout person. You need a grocery sacker.
Right.
You need someone to help carry some of these groceries out to the clientele and bring the carts in out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Simple things like that. Stocking the shelves. Sorting food. One of the other donations that people can make is definitely a food drive. And there's always a need for food. I serve 700 kids a week for Backpack Buddies, and about 450 families a week for the pantry. So we need a lot of food.
Right.
And
so what are some of those?
Food drive is always a need.
What are some of those food items that people could bring?
Well, one of the things a box of cereal.
Okay.
It's just as simple as that. If you're buying cereal for your family, pick up another box for a family in need. And that's how I usually tell folks, if you're using it, why don't you pick it up?
Okay.
For those folks who are in need.
Just some of those staple items.
Just staple items. Instant potatoes.
Okay.
Mac and cheese. Everybody says, well, you need milk with that. Well, that's what we cover.
Right.
We make sure we can, the donations that we have coming in, we can purchase the filler items.
Yeah.
If you donate jelly, we can do peanut butter or vice versa. Backpack Buddies, it's usually your fruit cups are a big need that we have, ravioli, SpaghettiOs with meat. Those bags are honestly high-protein meals, and that's because protein is a brain food. And if a child has protein all through the week with their free lunches and free breakfasts, and then they have the weekend with the same high-protein meals, on Monday they're not as fidgety. They can concentrate on their schoolwork.
Right.
And the teachers give us surveys on how this is very true, that this program works for these kids because they're receiving the types of food that they're getting.
Wow.
So oatmeal.
That's great feedback.
Oh, yeah. And so with these surveys, what we do is we look at this and we find that the program's working. What do we need to change? And they'll tell us a few of the things that some of the kids have a special need or something like that, and we can fulfill it that way.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, I mean, I guess we kind of covered what, some needs are here. Are there any other needs that, really stand out to you that the Dream Center needs from our community?
Volunteers. We are in big need of volunteers. Food drives, huge. And it's just not during Thanksgiving time. It's not just when school starts. It's all
throughout the
year
Yeah.
long. Like I said, if you pick up a can of green beans for yourself, pick up a can of green beans for our next family.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Many hands make a light load.
Yeah.
That is really all it's all about. We have people who fill our backpack buddy bags. We have gone the extra mile in getting unsorted goods, and that means we have to sort them, check the dates on them,
Right.
etc. And we have also gone to the point where we're buying beans and rice to maximize our dollars. So we can buy them in 50-pound bags, and we have to put those in little 1-pound bags.
Right,
So there's a lot happening every single day that somebody can do.
Okay.
Even somebody who says, well, I can't stand very long. Well, we need somebody who can be our hostess up in the front and greet our people. It's just as simple as that.
So there's a job for everybody.
Everybody.
Do you have an age limit, like the youngest who can volunteer?
Yes, because it is in a warehouse setting. Nobody under the age of, I think it's 10,
Okay.
who can volunteer. Anybody 11 and older to 14 needs to work alongside a parent.
Okay.
Anybody 14 and older can work by themselves.
Okay, that's great. So that's a
Yeah.
great opportunity for teenagers and,
Oh, yes.
and anybody who's got someone who needs to get out there and learn to serve and help, or just likes to help. I mean, that's a great opportunity.
Any of your groups that need service hours, definitely a great place to fill in those hours.
That's wonderful. Okay, great. I really appreciate you being here today. Can you share with us maybe like what your favorite quote is, or one of your favorite quotes?
I most certainly can.
Okay.
This is, and I have it written down. Hopefully y'all be patient with me on this. This is, like I said, the LA Dream Center is who we're patterning after. And so this is a quote by Matthew Barnett, who is the founder of the LA Dream Center. And it really has been a mantra of mine for a number of years. And as soon as you start about the needs and burdens of others and what you can do to alleviate them, or how you can bless and build up others, you can begin to establish a new identity for yourself. Your true identity. A cause is always about serving other people. And so that's our mantra.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Welcome.
And thank you for being here with us today. And I'm excited for what the Dream Center is doing, and excited. Hopefully we'll get you some more volunteers, and I would love to help as well. So
Just come by. We can put you to work.
okay, thank
you for the invite.
The Brazoria County Minute is brought to you by BeRemembered.us. Tell your story. Be remembered.